In this video shot at Pizza Expo, you'll meet Mauro Caputo of Caputo Flour. Caputo is the gold standard of pizza flour and is used by the best pizza makers in the world. Mauro, a master miller, discusses the grains used to make Caputo flour and explains the entire process of making flour. Here's Mauro.
Albert Granda here, pizzatherapy.com, legendsofpizza.com/blog. I am with Mauro Caputo, a master miller of Caputo flours. We're going to talk about grains.
Yeah, hi Albert, thank you for this interview. Yeah,
you're very welcome.
Yeah.
Mauro, tell me about some of the grains that you use for Caputo flour.
Yeah, the grains are so much important for Caputo because, I mean, in the flour we just use grains and we don't put anything else. So it's 100% natural product, and so the raw material research and supply is the main point of our survey. So now grains around the world have different characteristics, and this depends a lot on the weather condition, the harvest, the soil conditions, and as well the seed choice. So considering that every wheat has different protein level, different gluten characteristics, and as well starch binding characteristics. We research a lot on the different wheats that we can supply in the Italian territory and as well on European and sometimes even worldwide. And once we have had analysis of each different variety, we start blending up to sometimes even 7, 8 different wheat varieties to have a final flour. So the flour must be balanced in every single spec, beginning with the protein level and going up to the water absorption and the starch structure in order to have the perfect point of performance in every phase of the dough making, from the kneading to the baking. We also have our field. We have a project that is running since 5 years about the Caputo field, the Caputo grain, that is part of our blends. And of course it's necessary not just to give a structure to the flour and a texture to the dough, but also the typical taste of grain, the typical taste of a natural grainy product.
Okay, if you could, Mauro, take me from the fields to the milling process. How does that happen?
Yeah, very, very nice question. Yeah. From the field, of course, there's a lot of research. We talk to the growers, we talk to the growing company, and we did what I told you before, so a big research and study on the raw materials. Then once we had analysis and we start blending, we go through the milling. There is a fact that is so much important about milling, there is the slow grinding process. So we actually mill by cylinders. That is most innovative and as well traditional method used by mills, and it's very important to transform the wheat to flour with no damage of the protein structure and of the starch structure. So in order to do this, we go up to 35 passages of rolling and sifting in order to take out the flour at warm temperature and not to damage what is the original quality of the wheat. So the rate at the end is 1-to-1 from the field to the flour.
Oh, that is really interesting.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, how do you get consistency though? Because you want every bag of flour to be like every other bag.
Of course, when we have to do with Mother Nature, there are a lot of factors that may influence the quality and as well the consistency of a finished product. So by blending the grains and by looking for different harvests season by season, we are able actually to take out always the same recipe, So according to the conditions of milling and the conditions of the different harvests and the different crops, we are able to keep the quality of the flour on a very, very rigid standard. And this is what actually our customers are appreciating about us.
Absolutely. Caputo flour is known worldwide for making for making some of the best pizzas in the world. Yeah. But you've also gone into a couple of different directions, not necessarily the 00. No. And you also have Caputo Americana and a brand new flour. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, let's say the story tells everybody that we started with pizza flour with a traditional blue pizzeria bag, and this was about 30 to 35 years ago. And then we dropped down in the American market because the pizza culture was growing and growing, and people were starting to appreciate it here in America. Let's say the taste, but as well the lightness and the simplicity of a traditional Neapolitan pizza. But nowadays we have been growing on the market, and of course there are different needings and different customers we want to satisfy, going from the Americana style pizza up to a new flour we just created. It's so-called nuvola. The key word is always naturalness, genuinity, quality, very high taste, and for sure lightness. Because if you want to go have a good pizza, you're going to have two, and you're not going to feel it.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I have a bag of Caputo Americana in my own kitchen. I use it to make my own New York style pizza dough, and it's just fantastic. Yeah. How can people find Caputo if they're interested in purchasing it and visiting you and your website?
So we nowadays export in more than 80 countries, and wherever we go with our product, we generally deal with very good partners. And on the United States territory, our partner is Orlando Food, that fortunately, and not just because of fortune, but because these guys work very good, we have a very well distributed net that covers the entire territory of the United States. So our product is available everywhere. So please just ask Orlando Food, find for us.
Mauro, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. This has been a great education in flours.
Okay. Thank you to you, Albert, for this interview, and don't lose a chance to try Caputo if you didn't do that before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Thank you so much, Mauro, for pulling back the curtain on how Caputo flour is made. You can find out more about Caputo flour by going to caputoflour.com. I'll also put a link above to my fascinating interview with Tony Gemignani on how he and his team helped develop Caputo Americana, a specialty flour created for New York-style pizza dough. I've made some wonderful pizzas using Caputo Americana. Below this video, I'll include resources to where you can find Caputo flour products, as well as other related links. And while you're here, if you could show a little pizza love and subscribe, Pizza on Earth, goodwill to all.